Alright, so I'm back at this spot where I used to live. It's a trout preserve now. And my house used to be right here. I only returned to the location because I got bad video the last time. There's a piece of the house. But that's when I first started really getting into doing videos for YouTube. So, this used to be the house right here, and right now we're in the basement portion, and my bedroom used to be right above here. My parents' bedroom used to be right here, and over here is where the deck used to be, and it was actually one of the biggest decks we've ever had. And used to have like a carport underneath it, so you have the whole length of the deck, and like in this area, if I remember correctly, was the carport portion. And still some remains of the house. This is the Musconecon River. It's actually an awesome river system. But there used to be an asphalt driveway back here, and as you can see, it's still here. It's just so overgrown right now. There's a path. This goes back into the woods. I actually used to walk back here often when I was younger. And funny story is when I was hiking back here once, I accidentally came across a goose nest, and a goose wasn't very happy to see me. I was coming around a bend and going towards the river, and there was like a little island, not really an island, but his ground portion that was separate from this, and that's where she was laying her eggs, or she had laid her eggs, and chased me off. But there used to be a couple houses back here. Ours was the bigger one. It was actually a two-family house. We lived in a downstairs, and we had the basement portion, and there was an upstairs, and the only way the guy can access the upstairs was to go to the back, go on the deck, and then go up the stairs. But we're gonna see what else we can find. From what I remember, the spring house should still be here, or what people call the spring house. It was used as a shed. Now over here, wait, before I get over here, this was where we parked. So the garage portion to the basement, which connected to the basement, was right here. And I actually had my basketball hoop here, and I played basketball out here. The front entrance, actually somebody's parked there, was right in front of his truck. That would be the front entrance to the house. It's a little bit more elevated, so we weren't walking into the basement like right here, we walk into the main living room. I can't get up there at the moment. But back here is a man-made pond. And I'm not sure if it was a part of a reservoir. And I have to be careful because there's a lot of wildlife back here. Deer track. Actually look kind of fresh. And something else. That is not a deer track. I just can't believe how overgrown this is right now. And the pond is over there. It's right there. I don't know if you can see it. There's so much water right here right now. I'm probably not going to be able to get to much, but we'll try. Yeah, I don't know what kind of track that is. So, we're in a very remote area of Port Murray, New Jersey. I even had to hike a mile just to the bus stop. And this is really soggy. So the spring house / shed should be over here somewhere. But as you can see, I'm having a little bit of an issue. I'm not going to go that way. So I'm by myself today. And there's actually somebody over there fishing. Oh my goodness. But what I'll do is I'll post some of the good clips in this video. And that's what you can see. This area needs to be explored like during the winter time.
They do snapping turtles in here.
Yep.
Oh god.
Are we allowed to hear it?
Snapping turtles?
I don't know, probably.
Are we allowed to go near that house?
Probably.
So far I don't see any.
Careful.
Well, it's got to be a runoff from somewhere.
You see if we can walk up the driveway a bit. And the driveway is really, really in bad shape. overgrown, and I'm surprised there were no collapsed trees when I came down the road. Alright, let's see if we can go this way. So yeah, that tree was always there. And the door, the front door would be over here. And it slopes this way. And that's where we used to park. There is a retaining wall back there too. Oh, there it is. So there used to be the landlord's house, which was up there, and there were either, and my memory's bad at the moment, there were either 2 or 3 houses here. They were the smaller ones, and then our house was down that way. But yeah, I used to walk up this driveway every day for school. I enjoyed the naturist hike, but one time I came home and there was a, or I was coming home, and there was a rabid raccoon, and I had to try to avoid it. And when my mom got home, I told her about it, and she made the call. But so here's the driveway. There is a shed down there, like a really small shed, and I don't think I can get it on a camera. No. It's right. I think that's it. That would be it. Now the landlord's house was somewhere on this side. I don't think there's any remnants of it. His house was mostly wood. Our house was actually a remodeled barn, and the living room was huge. The size of the fireplace, I couldn't even put in perspective how big that fireplace was. But the house had its issues. So we only lived here for almost 2 years, and the issues we were having was that the furnace was really old, and it kept breaking down during the winter. So the landlord was at his wit's ends, couldn't afford to replace it, and I mean, thank goodness for that big fireplace. It warmed up the living room and kept us warm. But of course, you know, you can't keep a fireplace going during the night, so kind of trudged through that. And then hate to mention this, but it did happen. It's the septic system, and you know, as you know, since we're not connected to any city plumbing, everything is its own thing here. So I had a well, and I'm not sure if that reservoir was a part of that well, and it had its own septic tanks. And what had happened was the septic tank was full, and the landlord never had a regular schedule going to have it emptied, and got backed up, and it got backed up in our bathrooms. There's 2 bathrooms in a house, and it was just a really rough couple days until he got it fixed. But the landlord was a really nice guy. At one point he had a kitten and he had a cat, and the kitten wasn't getting along with his cat, so he had given me the kitten, you know, of course pending my mother's permission, but you know, I begged Mom and we kept the kitten. And he was my favorite cat. He actually ended up being a very large cat. Not just fat, but he was big. He was about 27 pounds. He was very smart. Would sit in a windowsill with, you know, with the screen shut and see me come home and get all excited like a dog and come along and greet me when I open the door. I don't want to go too close to this guy's truck. I don't want him to think that I'm breaking in or anything. But there's poison ivy everywhere. When I was here last time, there really wasn't this much growth. And I couldn't find any remnants of the fireplace. I think this is the only real remnant that's left. And as you can see, that's the holes there. That's where the boards went. So the asphalt driveway, and I can't really get a perspective because of all the damn weeds. The asphalt driveway used to come up from up there, and that's where the gentleman is parked. And used to wrap around here, go this way, and into the carport. And this was the grass area. So we're talking 30 years ago. And another funny story is that when I first had met my husband, I kept telling him of this really cool place that we lived. You know, it was so naturist, and falling asleep to the sound of the river, waking up to the sound of the river. It was awesome. Just the problems needed to be worked out, and they weren't being worked out. And so we came down here, and I don't think we were married at the time. I think we were like still dating. And tried to come down the driveway, but the top of the driveway was blocked off. I'm like, oh, okay, that, you know, something weird happened. So we parked down where the mill is, and we walked up the hill and then down a driveway. And as we got closer and closer, the houses were still here at that time, but the doors were open and everything was flailing in the wind. I got a tick in my head, and nobody's here to get it out. I got an hour and a half drive to get home too. I got it off my scalp. It's in my hair somewhere. Anyway. But as we got closer and closer to the house, I noticed that Bob kept getting more and more paranoid. And he had grabbed a stick. And we walk a little further. I turn around and look back at him, and you know, he had grabbed a bigger stick. Again, we walked even further, and at this point, you know, we saw the doors were open, everything was flailing in the wind. It was night, and the only thing that was guiding us was the moonlight. And by the time we got to the landlord's house, Bob must have found a tree laying down somewhere, and he grabbed it and was using it, trying to use it to protect himself, you know, kind of like a weapon. I'm like, alright, let's just turn around, you know. This guy's a little paranoid. He is a paranoid guy, though. But let me take some pictures and I'll get back. I got him. I got the little bugger. And he is running. I got these guys all the time when I was younger. Nasty little creatures. Actually, just to give you guys a glimpse of this driveway, I'll be recording this, or trying to record this on the way out. I mean, this driveway has always been narrow, but yeah, my car's getting scratched up now. But it was never like this. And there's going to be a point where this driveway is just going to collapse, because it is on a hillside. And we always had an issue if someone started, you know, coming towards us, either one of us had to back up. And it was usually the person who was coming from the driveway. And we are out here. Alright, well, I'm going to end it here. And, yeah. So, this will probably be the last time I'll be here. There's just really not much left. Alright guys, so please like, share, subscribe, click the notification bell. This way, whenever new video is posted, you'll be notified. Alright guys, see you later. Bye.